Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Kabi, for the introduction. I'm not really inspiring, but I would say my story would be rather different or unconventional at least among my classmates. I was trained in law and politics, but eventually, I ditched all those legal career. I've been like a politician for a short stint, but right now I'm running a walking tour company that's called Working Hong Kong. Just a raise of hand, don't afraid that you'll disappoint me. Anyone ever heard about this company, Working Hong Kong? Oh, not bad, thanks. Okay, so I'll talk about what we do later, but tonight, this evening, I want to talk about a story about my feet. Well, basically, it's a Moonlighter department, and therefore, I have to say I specialize in moonlighting. I'm now like running a startup, but actually, my main responsibility is to be a father of a 4-month-old baby. He's my son, and I became a father this year. And the first few months was really torturing. If you have been dad, then you know about it. And recently, I run into two obsessions. First, I got very excited when my baby poo-poo. I'm quite obsessed with changing nappies because you know that as a new father, you're always running out of sleep. You don't have any time that's awake, and that's the only time you are fully awake because of the smell, because of the drudgery, and then I treasure soberness rather highly. And secondly, I'm also obsessed with looking at his feet. I actually measure his feet daily to see about the growth, and I will basically pay attention, just look at my son's feet for minutes, to a point that my wife even consider calling a psychiatrist to see if I'm okay. The reason why I'm so obsessed with the feet is because I think feet, everyone's feet is a very unique thing. Everyone's feet is different. This is my feet. This is really my feet. So if you know about palm reading or those feng shui stuff, then you know that the second thing is longer than the first one. Then I'm destined to lead a rather tough life, and also without the smell here. And everyone's feet is different, it's unique. And then with feet, we do a lot of remarkable thing because if you see the Chinese word, 個人字. Basically, it symbolizes the human feet, one stroke to the left and one stroke to the right. It symbolizes a person. And walking is something so instinctively human, because if you know about biology, then you know that the only 3 species that can stand on their foot, including chimpanzees, bear, but they can only stand for like seconds, and human beings. So we are among the gift one that can stand on our feet and walk our way. And with feet, we walk a rather different way. So my path is quite conventional. As I said, I was trained in law and politics. Eventually, I taught in the university. I did some media work. I did some media work. I joined the government for 4 years. I spent 2 years in financial sector. So this is all basically in public affairs. You name a job, then I've tried it. But one role that I cherish the most is to become a traveler. I visited over 80 countries in the world, and this is the place or the country that I visit. I wrote a travelogue, and also enjoy travel very passionately. And that's to a point that I decided after some years, I ditched all the work that I done and started walking to a company. So there's me, and I suddenly become the tour guide, Paul, and it's a feature in the main part. And the reason why I really start this company first, because I love travel, and secondly, I would say inspired by 2 incidents. If you know that, first, did you recognize this lady? This is called 導遊阿珍, yeah. And because it's called 導遊阿珍, then people call me 導遊阿Paul, then, you know. So, you know that the incident happened in the year 2009 or year 2010. This tour guide forced her tour group to shop. And the participant refused to do so, and then therefore she basically scolded all the customers in the coach, and there was records and broadcast in the mainland media and caused such a big incident. And the second one, can you recognize this puppet? Have you ever come across this puppet? Or like he was used to reconstruct the case when someone died in Hong Kong. The mainland tourist came and was beaten by a tour guide, and then eventually he died. And the police somehow reconstruct the case. So the revelation to us, I'm going to start a walking tour company. So my enlightenment, as long as your tour did not murder anyone, then you are doing better than the original benchmark. And secondly, I always question how come we tolerate this kind of tourism practice for so long. And you can imagine if you join this tour, you come to Hong Kong, then you let to go to Victoria Peak or the Avenue of Stars, and then the tour guide only say very superficial things, and then bring you to a very mediocre restaurant, and then send you to Hong Kong or To Kwa Wan for relentless shopping. You can imagine how bad the situation it can be. So this is how we construct the image of Hong Kong. To me, is so remarkable, so unimaginable, and so inconceivable. And therefore, it triggered my curiosity about how people position Hong Kong, how we are showcasing Hong Kong. And therefore, in order to find the answers, so the most direct thing, Google Hong Kong, and this is what you'll see. You see the skyscrapers and skyscrapers. There's one a colonial British Empire flag, which is quite politically incorrect. And I also wonder how the tourism board in Hong Kong showcase Hong Kong. How the Hong Kong government showcase Hong Kong. So this is the symbol or the logo of Hong Kong. I forgot the exact figure, but this is the original version. And then they commissioned the same designer for making extension. That's the ribbon to the left. They spent about 7 million Hong Kong dollar, I think, for this extension. So the blue line represents this blue sky. The green line represents the pastoral greenery, and then there's a line rock in between. But you know that we call it in Cantonese we call it 潛力圖. Like carrying strong potential to be parodies. So after the creative addition or modification of our netizen, and this is what it become. This one quite well. Li Ka-shing is Hong Kong. This one is not bad too, but the best one is really great. Okay, I won't say anything. So this is how how the government showcase Hong Kong, and how tourism board. So this was extracted about 2 years ago, and I really find it so telling. So these are the 4 sites that they put it on the front page of the tourism board's homepage. So this is the Peak, the Ocean Park, the Disneyland, and the Big Buddha. And I want to do a survey here. How many of you have visited all these 4 sites in the past year? Please raise your hand. Yeah, we got this same result every time. Okay, but even for local, we won't visit this place, but we are putting it as the main tourism attraction. But for all the places that we visit daily, then basically we're ignored by the tourism sector. So again, another section of that page, you'll find the list of the top tourism attraction. So this is the list. Rank number 1 is the Avenue of Stars, which was just closed for renovation. But Avenue of Stars also featured prominently in another ranking, and this is here. It was voted as the second most disappointing It's like all over the world by sea and travel. So, and we picked this as the top tourism attraction in Hong Kong. Okay, so I always ask myself, do we have any, do we have other option? I believe that a city should offer options, and therefore it comes up to the idea that we should provide some alternative tourism experience. So why we started, back to the question, because we want to discover the charm of Hong Kong, that Hong Kong is not just shopping and theme park. So, but what's the most charming or the most authentic experience of Hong Kong? I used to talk about an hour, but then and managed to bore everyone in the room, and I still can't really express it. And therefore, it's so painful that to a point that I decided to illustrate this by another method. We make a clip. So I think we need to. Whoop. Is it? No. Okay, see.
Welcome to Hong Kong. 歡迎。Hong Kong not only colour come, sing and dance together. Very well.
再嚟。My snake 係嘛？My snake and very happy song, very good 㗎。呢個方面開始。得啦，yeah, very good。又靚到飛起。I really like every detail of the city, and I hope I can feel the beauty of Hong Kong through my drawing.
貓要咩？床要咩？我同你 ready 咩？你識咁多英文㗎？
So recently, the government said that we should appreciate Hong Kong, and we said like we should treat Hong Kong as our home, and we should need to appreciate. And regardless of what the government do, this regarding our traditional heritage and all the cultural aspects, I really believe that in order to appreciate Hong Kong, you need to appreciate the people of Hong Kong, and that's why people feature rather prominently in our tours. I can't really express it in a few minutes. And this is our logo, and we somehow subtly immerse the Chinese word human into our logo to emphasize this point. So we have been running walking tours in the past more than 2 years. We haven't counted exactly, but I think like more than about 200 to 300 walking tours, serving about 3,000 people. And we are fortunate to have the chance to show the most authentic and the best side of Hong Kong, and give to provide a memorable experience among these 3,000 people. And we will continue to work hard. And also to myself, I did, it's a soul-searching process for me, because I never know so many things about Hong Kong, and I managed to try a lot of crazy things. For example, to put up a chicken in front of a temple, play with some paper offerings, and also play with the snakes. Quite a lot of funny and crazy experience. So I won't say further because of the time, but we have a long way to go here. Can you recognize where it is? So this taken during the during the umbrella movement. So you won't be able to take it, I think, in the coming decades. And this one of my favorite pictures is me inside, and I use the self-taking function in here. I love the Chinese word, Chinese saying, 千里之行始於足下. So a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So we have treated the first steps, and echoing the umbrella movement. This is the someone posed a banner in the Lion Rock and say that we want the true democracy. But to me, the power of this poster is not only about democracy or political transformation. It's about the word 選, that is the choice. That somehow we are so bored. We are so frustrated by the lack of choice in different arenas of Hong Kong, and therefore we really deserve better option in Hong Kong, at least in tourism-based in a field that I feel passionate about it, I decide to try to come up with a better choice or better options for our city. So quite nice. Anyway, so and partly because I do it for my kid, because I really want when he grew up, then there will be enough choice for him to experience Hong Kong and learn about the charming and the most authentic side of like what Hong Kong is all about. So back to my feed, and thank you all your time, and feel free to like chat and ask any questions at the end. So this is our website, and feel free to like our Facebook, and check our tour schedule if you are free in any weekends. Okay, thank you very much.
One question. What's your favorite tour? Which one is your favorite tour?
Whoa. I love all the tours. Okay. One of my favorite, go to Sham Shui Po and go to the Happy Valley Cemetery, and also go to the Yau Ma Tei at night. So they're all my favorite excursion in Hong Kong. Okay, thank you very much.